We're looking at the book of Revelation, which is God sending us a gift, how it all ends, so we can make our life conform to what we know the future is. We have a unique insight. You know, when politicians or financial sector people make stock trades because they know about stuff before the public knows about it, we call it insider trading, and it's illegal. But God says, this is legal. I'm going to tell you how everything's going to end so you can adjust your life to get ready for it. Isn't that neat? And so this is really special knowledge. So why does God give humans a taste of hell? Well, what is the taste of hell? Well, in the broadest sense, it's the tribulation, okay? The tribulation is kind of like a slow motion, river going into hell. But God it's kind of like, the salmon are going upstream and the fishermen are grabbing them as they're going upstream. God, out of the river going toward hell, is grabbing people. He's saving them through what we've seen, the 144,000, the 2 witnesses, the gospel angel. But specifically, the tribulation that I've shown you so many times comes to a crescendo. Now that's what we're going to today. It's God's final wrath. Revelation 15 and 16 surround the 7 bowls. And the 7 bowls, now these aren't like cereal bowls. These we would call kind of shallow bowls, even like, in fancy meals where they have multiple courses, they have these shallow soup bowls. They're wider, but they're not very deep. That's what they used in the temple for all these, drink offerings and everything that they did. They didn't want to be pouring out, gallons. They were just doing a little bit. These bowls are a shallow dish that quickly can be dumped, and it's the word that's used. I mean, the reason for using that maybe is that they come so fast. But here's number 1. This is in my journal. Then I wrote rapid fire wrath. This is one of the saddest points in Scripture. At the end of Revelation 15, Christ has run out of patience. I mean, you talk about someone that has a lot of patience. Jesus has perfect patience. Can you imagine growing up with him? Psalm 69 is a description of what it was like to grow up with Jesus. It talks about his brothers didn't like him and his other people around him. It's a prophetic psalm looking forward to the birth or the advent of the Messiah. But can you imagine growing up with Jesus? He never got impatient. He never got angry. He was never selfish. He didn't disobey his parents, even though they thought he did when he stayed behind the temple. But he looked at him and said, how could I be disobeying you? Because you're supposed to be leading me to seek God, and I was seeking God. But Jesus has perfect patience. By the way, Psalm 69 says that nobody liked him growing up. Isn't that interesting? Jesus understands what it's like to be ostracized at school, to be the one that's not the cool, popular. He wasn't, because he was perfect. And nobody likes to be around anybody perfect. How would you like to grow up with a perfect sibling? Wow. But his patience ends and his wrath is coming. And there's something new in verse 8. There's always been a glory cloud, but rarely smoke. You understand what I mean? When smoke showed up on Mount Sinai because the law spoke of judgment, remember it was rumbling up there with God on the mountain with Moses, but never in the earthly tabernacle or temple except here. And all of a sudden what we see is the heavenly temple that's portraying the earthly place of God. It starts having smoke coming out of it. What's that? It's the fiery wrath of God, and God's mercy has ended. The smoke probably indicates that the way to God's presence is now closed. See, God had done the church, chapters 1, 2, and 3. Then the church goes to heaven, 4 and 5. And then the tribulation starts, and the 144,000 in 7 launch their ministry through all that horrible stuff going on. And then God sends the second team, the 2 witnesses. And then God sends the final team, the gospel angel. And the gospel angel goes everywhere, talks to everyone. God is not willing that any should perish. Even in the tribulation, he's reaching down and trying to get as many as possible. But, chapter 15, boom, the way of forgiveness, guidance, cleansing, and blessing is over, and no one can enter after that. It's very interesting to think about it being too late.